Every year, firefighters are injured, killed, or begin to face long-term health consequences because of the firefighting jobs that they do. Firefighting is an extremely dangerous job, and it puts us at a high risk for injury and long-term illness. Let's look at some of those now. This is found on pages 49 through 54 of your text. Every year, about 100 firefighters are killed in the line of duty. 50% of those are caused by heart attacks or strokes, another 25% from vehicle collisions involving the fire apparatus. A large portion of these, both heart attacks and vehicle collisions, are avoidable. We need to lower our line of duty death rate by taking care of ourselves physically and by watching the traffic situation around us. Some of the remaining causes of yearly firefighting deaths are falling, being caught underneath something, perhaps in a collapse, trapped, disorientation inside of a fire, and dying that way. Firefighters are at a much greater risk of multiple types of cancer, more so than the general public. Depending on the type of cancer, you might be 2 to 4% higher than the general public. You might be as high as 300 or 400% more likely to get cancer than the general public. We must take steps to protect ourselves as much as possible from all these carcinogens that are in the products around us. We have a high risk of cardiovascular disease. The long hours, the stress, the temperatures that we face, the wear and tear on our cardiovascular system just creates all kinds of cardiac problems and injuries. Respiratory problems, asthma, emphysema, coming from the products that we're facing, being exposed to things like tuberculosis on EMS runs. Musculoskeletal issues, the sprains and strains, those are our number one cause of injuries every year. Not lifting something properly, lifting something too heavy, being in a bad position, bending over while you're lifting a patient or cutting a hole in the roof, tripping, falling, pulling down ceiling, opening up walls, those wear and tear on the shoulders, the knees, the back, injuries occurring to the neck from ceiling or walls falling on top of your head. These all lead to those injuries. Some other physical injuries or issues, are obesity, diabetes, hypertension, caused by our lack of workout, our diet. Firefighters love to eat. We love to eat red meat. We love to wash it down with a beverage. Hopefully only off duty, and just the wear and tear on our heart, leading to high blood pressure. But just as important as some of the physical injuries are the mental injuries that we sustain. The depression from losing a victim in a fire, being away from your family for long hours, leaving your family as a volunteer, missing birthday parties and ball games and such. It leads to depression. When that depression is not dealt with soon enough, post-traumatic stress disorder might start to set in. You can only see so many bad things in your life before it starts to affect you. Having a healthy way to deal with that stress, that those bad things that you've seen, is of extreme importance. Drinking, doing drugs, being addicted to tobacco use, that's not the proper way to go. When these things are left untreated, we find that firefighters have a high suicide rate. We just can't handle some of the things that we've seen anymore, and our marriage is falling apart, our finances are falling apart, we're looking for help in all the wrong places. Firefighters have a high suicide rate. These are injuries and illnesses that we don't see because they're mental. We keep it in. We're a tough firefighter. These are issues that we need to address.